Hi, my name is Scott Shuttleworth and welcome to this week's Video Insight. Today I thought it would be worthwhile to review the Greek financial crisis, which you've no doubt read about in the news. So let's start by summarising the main facts. Greece tomorrow is expected to make a €1.6 billion payment on its debt in order to receive another €7 billion as a bailout. Greece as it stands already has a large amount of debt, €320 billion worth as reported by The Guardian. This is about 180% of their annual GDP, and to put this in perspective, Australia's debt to GDP ratio sits at about 17%. Greece for many years now has required bailouts in order to finance its budget and make repayments on other bailouts. Even if this bailout is guaranteed, they will most likely need another bailout in the near future. Now this is because prior bailouts required the Greek government to make large cuts in expenditure, which combined with subdued private investment and poor economic sentiment have driven the economy into a depression. Greece is between a rock and a hard place. By accepting the bailout terms, further expenditure cuts will likely need to be made, further driving the economy into a depression and reducing tax revenues. Reduced tax revenues lead to further bailouts required in the future, and a downward spiral perpetuates. A depression is a serious matter for any economy. The Greek unemployment rate has already exceeded 25%. Wages have been cut, homelessness is now a major problem, as well as hunger in Athens. And now the Greek healthcare system has completely collapsed. To add insult to injury, taxes have been raised in order to comply with bailout conditions. In a perfect world, Greece would be forgiven of its debt and allowed to recover. But this is a difficult prospect for any lender. If Greece is allowed to default and get away scot-free, why would other countries such as Spain or Portugal pay back their debts? Further post a default, why should any other entity provide credit to Greece when Greece simply knows it can default and get away with no repercussions? There was always the prospect that Greece may default and leave the European Union entirely, allowing it to put aside the euro and revert back to the drachma, presumably a very weak drachma. A weak drachma would make Greek exports attractive to foreigners and may allow for some growth. Although if Greece's debt is not written off in the event of a default, a weak drachma against a relatively stronger euro may be just as big of a burden on the budget as before. As it currently stands, it appears that Greece will default on Tuesday unless a last-minute agreement is reached. Deadlines do have a way of spurring agreement, so this would not surprise us. In the worst-case scenario, a Greek default would result in a financial crisis that spreads to other economies and even Australia. Given that at Montgomery we invest for the long term, this could be an opportunity to pick up stocks of quality companies at very attractive prices. That's all we have for this week. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter.